now that we've got the center block all completed with the borders, we need to make the outer rows to finish this whole center row, part of the quilt. So now we're going to make the inner row, which will go on this side and this side of our quilt top, and it will also go up here and below later. So now you will need block 5, a block 4s, and the rest of your 5s. You take your 5s and you're going to place them on the opposite sides of your 4. Then you're going to line everything up and you're going to sew a 1/4 of an inch seam allowance and press towards block 5. You're going to repeat this 3 more times and you'll make all 4 rows. So let's go ahead and do this and we'll be right back. We've just completed our inner rows. So now we're ready to start our outer rows. Our outer rows consist of blocks 2A, 3, and 2B. You'll notice our 2A and 2B have been placed with the blues on the outside. So now for assembly, you'll take 2B first, flip it over, and line everything up. Do a 1/4 of an inch seam allowance, pressing away to block 2B, repeating on the opposite end with 2A. We're going to flip that one over, line everything up, and sew a 1/4 of an inch seam allowance and press towards the 2A's. You're going to repeat this again for 4 rows. And once we get this done, we can start the assembly of the inner and outer rows to our quilt center. So let me get started. Now that our inner and outer rows are complete, we have a total of 4 of each. I've removed 2 of each of the 2 inner, 2 outer, and placed those to the side for now. Those will be used in a later in the quilt. So now we're going to take these 2 remaining inners and outers and we're going to sew them together. We're going to sew the inner and outer together to put on the sides of our center block. So let's go ahead and do so. We're going to flip our outer on top of our inner block, line everything up, sew a 1/4 of an inch seam allowance, and then we're going to press towards the inner block. And you're going to repeat 1 more time for the other side. So let me go ahead and do this and we'll show you how to assemble the center block. I have completed our inner and outer row assembly. They are now joined. I have placed 1 on this side and 1 on the other side with the pinwheel inner blocks facing the center of the block 8. From here, we will flip this side over and sew a 1/4 of an inch seam allowance and we'll repeat on the other side. We will pressing towards the center block. Once this is complete, we will have our center row complete. So let me sew this together and we'll show you what this looks like next. We've just completed our center of our quilt. So now we're ready to make our top 2 rows and our bottom 2 rows. And then we can assemble them on our center of our quilt.